Okay, good morning. This lesson would be about absolute value of a number. Okay, so this was discussed yesterday, but let's have more examples. So you have the absolute value of a number. Okay, so let's recall what an absolute value is. You already know from our lesson yesterday that this is simply the distance of a number from 0, right? So when we say distance, that would always be positive. Okay, so another could be, we could say that this is the um, positive equivalence of a number. Okay, and for the absolute value of a number, it could only be, okay, so it's either, okay, it could either be positive or 0. So, hindi siya pwedeng magiging negative. So, if we have, for example, the absolute value of, we have the symbol for absolute value, vertical bars. So, ayan, vertical bars. Then you're going to put a number inside it. So, say if you're going to get the absolute value of -5, that tells us that you are going to find the distance of -5 from 0. So if this is your 0, and then the negative integers or numbers, they go to the left of 0. So you have your -1, your -2, -3, -4, -5, and then the positive integers would go to the right ng ating number line. Okay, right of 0 in the number line. So always remember that for the number line, it has to have arrowheads on both ends that would indicate that it would extend infinitely. So yung number, yung -5, ayan, here's your -5. If you're going to find its distance from 0, you just have to count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is 5 units away. Okay, so therefore the absolute value for -5 is just +5. So it says here it's the positive equivalence of a number. Okay, so to make this short, lagi nyo lang gawing positive, maliban na lang kung absolute value of 0, right? So kung 0 yung nasa loob, ayan, the absolute value of 0, of course, our answer for that is 0. Okay? But for all other numbers, yung positive, yung absolute value niya would always be the positive equivalence of the number. Okay? Pero si 0 kasi is neither positive nor negative. Okay? Kasi sabi dyan, for the absolute value of a number, it is either positive or 0. Okay? So, next example, if you are given negative 0.15, so you just get the positive equivalence for that. You just have to remove the vertical bars, you remove the negative sign, and then you just write 0.15. So if you're asked to find the absolute value of 1/2, so the distance of 1/2 from 0 is also 1/2. Okay, just remove the vertical bars. If you're asked to find the absolute value of -7, over 8. Then you just have to remove the vertical bars. You remove the negative sign. You would have 7 over 8. Okay? So, it's as easy as that. Ganun lang yung gagawin nyo to get the absolute value of a number. Okay? So, let us have true or false statements here. Let's try. Say, just have to write true or false. So this is still about the absolute value of a number. So say the absolute value of negative 8 is greater than the absolute value of negative 9. Okay, so how are we going to answer that? First, you have to get the absolute value of negative 8. So for the absolute value of negative 8, this would be, that would give you positive 8. Okay, so it's greater than. For the absolute value of negative 9, you remove the vertical bars, remove the negative sign. That would be 9. So 8 is greater than 9. Is this true or false? This is a false statement. Okay, another example. Say the absolute value of the negative of the absolute value of negative 4 is equal to 4. Okay, is this true or false? So let's check. How are we going to do this? So yung negative sign na nasa labas ng absolute value negative 4, eh, hindi yan mawawala. Diyan lang yan. Pero itong nasa loob, okay, so you'd remove the vertical bars, you remove the negative sign of 4, what's left would be 4. Okay? Pero may negative sa labas. So, ibig sabihin, negative 4 pa din siya. So, negative 4 is equal to 4. Is this true or false? So, this is false, of course. Okay? Another example. True or false pa din. Say, the absolute value of 5 plus the absolute value of negative 7, okay, is equal to 2. Okay? Is this true or false? So, you get the absolute value of 5. Kunin natin. So, dito tayo. That would be 5. Absolute value of negative 7. Remove the vertical bars. Remove the negative sign. That's 7. Okay? Then you copy 2. So, 5 plus 7 is 12. Right? So, 12 is equal to 2. Is this true or false? This is again a false statement. Okay. Another example. Say if you have the absolute value of negative 10 minus the absolute value of 3 is equal to 7. Okay. So let's check. Let's see if that's true or false. So absolute value of negative 10 is just 10. You copy minus. Absolute value of positive 3. Just remove the vertical bars. Okay. So it's equal to 7 daw. So 10 minus 3 is 7. Now 7 is equal to 7. Okay. Where's that? Oops. 7 is equal to 7. Is this true or false? Of course, this statement is true. Okay. So that's it. That's all about the absolute value of a number and how to evaluate the absolute value of number with basic operations included. Okay, that's all. Thank you for watching. Hope you've learned.